I got this other these narcissistic terminologies here. All right, there's there's a technique, man. It's called little dogging. I've already talked about this. This is kind of getting a sidekick. Basically, they love sidekicks. What they need is what you call is a yes man. A yes man basically, while it's convenient, will agree with you. So if you plan to make a campaign against a third party or whatever here, you temporarily you make a commiseration gang, and then you, in a way, you chum the waters with your yes man. You keep throwing the blood in the water, and the yes man keeps saying yes, more, yes, more. And then they take all that built up residual energy, because that's what it is. It collects, kind of like it's kind of like something that collects. It's like a levee, but when it gets to the top, the levee, they open the levee once the levee gets full. You know what I'm saying, basically, and they draw you in to the path of the water in a way. And once again, a narcissist needs a no man, and I realize I'm a no man. You know what I'm saying? Because a no man doesn't always mean I'm going to say no. It just means if you push too hard and you're asking, or if you're seeking approval too much, if Martha, why dost thou protest so much? Of course I'm going to say no, because I'm going to recognize there's some kind of, this is something else than what you're talking about here. This isn't, you're using whatever you're talking about as a pretext really to vent about something else. And I mean, I can see right through it. So you never come to me if you want me to be a yes man. And listen, when someone goes full-blown narcissist, they will force you into a situation where your no man will come out, which is like you're going to have to say no to them. Like, they're going to force you into some kind of compromise where if you say yes, it's a compromise. And if you say no, you're the bitter enemy and you hate them. You know what I'm saying? Or something. And they normally bring their yes man, and then their yes man basically pumps them up on the sideline too. And then when you're getting put on blast by the main aggressor narcissist, or the one that's used as the mouth, because it's not just the mouthpiece, it's actually the two and their demons that were there in the puppeteer: the resentment, the bitterness, the hostility, the grudging, and the selfish revenge motive. It's always, listen, that's the thing, is there some kind of revenge going on here? And if it is, if they're doing it because you did something, well, then that's revenge, because or retaliation. You know what I'm saying? And there is a large process of what I've heard. It's called grooming. And grooming is working somewhat one up. Either you're pumping them up so they can turn that pumped upness. You mutually can turn on someone else, or they can manipulate you somehow and get. Sometimes, like, they love to heap up to them someone they can use to manipulate every single person in different situations. So they need different people. And they groom them according to your relationship. Your separate relationship from their relationship, because narcissists really love to be the center of attention, and they really get really weirded out about other people's relationships around them. And then they always want to kind of come and probe and check the waters and see what's really going on. They'll do it in roundabout ways, and the way they do that is they suck up, they butter up, and they play the yes man. And that's exactly how you know you're going to get hit up. First, there's this elaborate stage of showering you with praise. But that's only because they're about to hit you with the backhanded compliment. You know what I'm saying? And look, the more they praise you, the more whacked out of left field is the thing that they're going to say to you right afterwards. You know what I'm saying? And it is a beautifully demonic technique, because it's totally it totally catches you off guard until you're recognizing what's going on. I can sense now. It's almost like I can feel like the energy has been drained in the area. And that means that the demon just soaked in all the energy, and there's about to be a episode. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, it's not just any one particular person now. I can see it in many people, but now I'm starting to even recognize it abroad. If anyone has these particular characteristics of the narcissist, or what's another, what do they call it, man? It's Jezebel. Jezebel, narcissism are like, look, the spirits are almost interchangeable. They got, like, I think the Jezebel has, it's more for a definite, there's a definitely hostility towards men and God when it comes to Jezebel. But a narcissist is just self-centered anyway. So look, they're not really against men or God. You know what I'm saying? Necessarily. They're just really selfish. So therefore, they're going to be dispositioned to not do things out of brotherly love, charity, and kindness. It's always for an ulterior motive as well. Like I said, these mercenary things, as soon as they use their little dog that they groom to be their yes man, as soon as they use them against you, and then you disappear, they go and devour their yes man too. You know what I'm saying? And then the yes man turns around and says, oh, everything I was telling you was a lie. I really feel this way about you. And then that helps feed that spirit of self-condemnation that is on the narcissist. Because really, that's what kind of causes it, man, is this kind of, it's a low self-esteem that's masked through pride. You know what I'm saying? They kind of get like self-righteous or reformed hooker. These are holier than thou. This is really what the narcissist, see, even if you believe in God and you're trying to do right, but your narcissist part of your flesh and your flesh, your mind, and your heart, your desires are in conflict with what you're trying to learn or convey. Instead, all I'm seeing is your narcissist side. I hear God here and there with it, but you're really struggling, and I see that. Or either that, you're flat out lying, and you're being a manipulator. And in that case, it's like, man, dude, I wouldn't want to be you. So I don't really think it's that sometimes. I think really people are just, they're genuinely conflicted, and they're tormented by, in a way, it's a demon that takes a long, it's like, look, Jezebel comes about through an indoctrination process, and narcissism as well. Look, people wouldn't be so vain if there wasn't television and magazines and school social competition and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like being part of the cool kids or the rebels or the nerds or whatever, dude. All that stuff right there leads to kind of a group pride mindset, which therefore, really, I'm part of the group. I'm accepted. It's really narcissism. It's really, and then if you really watch group scenarios, there's always a leaders fight, and they normally connive their way in and betray the other leader. You know what I'm saying? Just in the same way that I'm talking about this little dog. And you're grooming a yes man and a no man and little dogs. And it's like, listen, and basically victims, narcissistic supply. It's just about supply. All they care about, to a large extent, is having someone there to inflict. It's like I got this emotion cannon, and I'm just gonna blast you with it and see what happens to you when I blast you with what I'm feeling. I'm feeling this way, so this is how I'm treating you because I feel this way about this. And it's like, wait a second, you just admitted this wasn't about me. So why are you taking it out on me? You know what I'm saying? And that's another part of being the no man, is that, like, look, no, what you're doing right here isn't right. I mean, yeah, I'm powerless to really stop you, but I'm going to still speak the mind as you do and let you know that I know that it ain't right. And, they tried to pretend like they don't hear you. They don't bring that shit up later, but they do hear you and they know that you're right. And what it is they kind of envy you that, how come you don't fucking take the bait? And really, that's what it is. So when they realize you didn't take the bait, they go all in. And they start bringing out all their tricks to try to draw you in. And when they're all out of bullets and you're still standing there and you're not giving them a supply, in fact, you're taking what little they got left. And you know what I'm saying? And that's really what happens. They throw it all in and they got a little bit left for themselves. They're just hoping that you're gonna give them a feed. And when you don't, You know what I'm saying? There's nothing else they can do but walk away. But you know they're carrying the truth with them as they walk away, and they really think about it. Really deep down, they know you're right, and they hate it, and they envy you that they haven't learned what you learned, how to just not get worked up like they do about every single thing. You know what I'm saying? And what it is they know all your buttons, and they hit them all, and they tell you what they think you need to hear to get you stoked. But when you just take that stuff and you diffuse it, oh, do they hate it? Do they hate a diffuser? Because they don't. When I say a no, man, that doesn't really mean that. Sometimes that means no, I'm not going to do this with you again, and you walk away. You know what I'm saying? Once again, you don't play along. See, the yes man will play along, and the yes man a lot of times will use the narcissist. It'll feed the narcissist like chumming the waters, because they want to get you. But they don't want to be guilty, so they use the main narcissist, and they like I said, you never know where these fucking campaigns are, exactly who they're coming from sometimes. I mean, it always is going, it's leading back, the breadcrumbs is leading back to the spirit world. But, you know, on that path, man, you'll see the breadcrumbs or be on all over the person that is exhibiting the signs of these these babe shit episodes where they seem to come out of nowhere, but after the fact you'd be like, wait a second, you premeditated that. You wrote out a list of questions and you thought of the responses and you narrowed it down in your mind that there'd only be a limited amount of responses. And according to which one I picked, you were going to blast me anyway, because you just want to blast me. And then they hate it when you call them on that. You know what I'm saying? And if they're really freaking stubborn, they will not budge. And they are right. You know what I'm saying? They are 100% right. Sometimes some of them some people will not budge. You know what I'm saying? Anything they think they got that will stick in a court, like in a way, they will hold that evidence against you forever. So therefore, it's like in their heart, they're holding a grudge and they're keeping a secret list of a tit for tat thing, which is, you know, that's not a biblical concept. So I try to explain to people too. I'd be like, man, dude, you really held a grudge about that for a long time. I thought you forgave people. I thought you were walking with Christ now. You know what I'm saying? But they'll be digging up the freaking past. And it's like, wait a second. What if we dug up your past? You know what I'm saying? It's like, so it's like, don't throw stones in this situation here. And if you keep it, stop bringing up these old things that have already been resolved and try to validate this thing that's going on right now that is really petty. But it was an opportunity for you to vent because you deserve it in your mind and your heart. Because look, if I asked you, why do you deserve it? You would have a big fucking list of all the things that you did and who you did them for and when, from way back up until now. So, I mean, it's like, look, that's really what usury is. Usury isn't just taken from someone. It's actually doing things for people and expecting more in return. It's like, you know what I'm saying? So, you got to be careful. You know what I'm saying? It's like, did you just do those nice things just to have ammunition for narcissistic supply against me later? And I mean, these type of things will drive you nuts thinking about all of what, like, why do they do what they do? It'll drive you nuts sometimes until, look, someone points you in the right direction. And I knew one of my narcissists had narcissistic tendencies for like 3 years. And secretly, we had to have a family meeting and, like an intervention almost thing. And we were watching it was like traits of a narcissist. Out of a 30 question, this person had like 23 out of 30 of the possibilities on this questionnaire. And I mean, so I've been armed with that information that long. And at first I kind of used it as kind of like this weapon. But that didn't work because I really didn't study it out like I should have. I just had a little bit of knowledge, which made it just dangerous and provocatory, but even though it was true. But now, after I've seen a lot of people explain narcissistic abuse, narcissistic ambient abuse, how much your narcissists play into your gang stalkers. Because, I mean, look, let's say the cops are watching and you got family narcissists running around just blabbing, giving information, feeding your narcissists, your narcissistic campaign. And then they get to, the real gang stalkers get to blame it on your people.